Welcome to the Rapid Research Podcast, where two friends answer the big questions after searching the internet for 30 minutes. Hey, welcome into the Rapid Research Podcast, episode 5. Today we're looking at coffee drinks. Joel, you like coffee?
I do like coffee.
I like coffee. I'm a big French press guy. That's kind of what I'm into right now.
You make a good French press.
That's true. That's true.
What's your brand?
Right now I'm doing Contrast Coffee, which is just a local coffee shop that they roast their own.
Mhm.
So kind of a nice thing. Mm-hmm. Make sure to follow on all the socials, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram,
so much.
YouTube,
Tic-tac.
whatever else we have out there. Joel, you're really the one that handles all the social.
I do, yes. Yes, I do.
So I don't even know what we have. All right, evolution of coffee drinks coming up today.
I would like to move right into hot take heaven, if that's all right with you.
This fast?
Yes.
All right.
Hot take heaven. My main beef with a lot of people who drink coffee.
To be clear, there is a lot of controversy surrounding coffee in the world.
There's so much controversy.
Like, for some reason, this is the topic that a lot of people dig their heels in. Everybody, it's like, my truth, my truth.
I would also say, like, we've experienced a lot of it personally because we traveled with a lot of people.
Yes.
Who all want coffee at the same time and in different methods and have
Yeah.
different preferences.
So you have a lot of opinions swirling around there about coffee.
Right. My main beef is people who say this drink is better than this other drink purely based on price. And I've had multiple people do that where they go, this place is superior in their coffee. And I say, why? And they say, well, look at the price. And I said, that has nothing to do with it. Okay. I would rather spend $6 for a really good cup of coffee that I know is going to be good than $5.50 for something that's going to be subpar. And that makes no sense to me when people, now again, if you're saying I would rather go somewhere where it's cheaper, but it's not as good, that's fine. But don't equate this being a better cup of coffee with the price point. That makes no sense to me.
That's a hot take because there's a lot of people that disagree with you.
I know there are a lot of people who
because
disagree
they find that the cheaper it is, it makes it more palatable, knowing like they're like, this was a bargain. You know, there's a lot of bargain hunters out there, and they kind of fit it in there. Yeah. I also have a hot take. Starbucks is better than Dunkin'. I will pretty much die on that hill.
I will die on this hill with you.
Okay.
Every day.
It's better. People say, well, they burn the beans. I'm like, yeah, for consistency, and it's awesome. Yeah. It's a better cup of coffee every single time.
This goes back to my argument because people will say Dunkin' is a better cup of coffee because it's like $1 cheaper. And it's not good. It's not good coffee.
It's very inconsistent. Sometimes it's watery. Sometimes it is the burnedest thing ever.
Yeah. And you can't say like Starbucks is bad because they burn the beans when Dunkin', they're burning the beans just on accident.
Right. So like at Starbucks, I understand the concept of burning beans for consistency, but I don't taste that in the coffee.
No.
Like I don't drink a latte and say, wow, this tastes burnt. No, it's like this tastes like a good cup of coffee.
You would have to have one of the top like 1% of coffee palates if you're one of the people who walks in and can taste Starbucks and say those beans are burned.
Well, and the whole idea of a coffee roast is that it's roasted.
Yes. That's true.
You are burning the beans anyway just by cooking it. So like to say it is burnt, I mean, obviously they're just saying it's over roasted.
It's not like they're putting them in a frying pan before they put them in the coffee.
Yeah. So okay, and that's a great point because by saying it's burnt, that is according to your standard burnt. Mm-hmm. It's not saying they're coming out all charred because you look at the beans from you buy a bag of beans from Starbucks, they're not charred. They're just dark roast. Yeah. And I guess a lot of people are like, no, it's burnt. And I don't care. My hot take is that Starbucks is better every day of the week than Dunkin' is.
Indeed. Now, if you have your choice between Starbucks, Dunkin', or a local place you haven't tried before, which one are you going to go to?
If I have time, I'm going to go to the local shop. If I don't have time, if I'm on a road trip or something and I want to keep going, I'm going to Starbucks because I know what I'll get. It's pretty easy. I can order ahead.
Yeah, I'm with you. I would rather try the local place.
Like
Um,
I'd like to for sure.
yeah. Now, one of the things I have found is that the best drinks I get are if I tell the barista, make me whatever you want to make me.
Yeah,
Fine.
I find the same thing of like, what do you like? And
Hmm.
they're like, well, this is what I typically, this is what I make for myself. I'm like,
Hmm.
okay, give me that, and
Yeah.
it's usually pretty fire
Yeah. And at worst, generally, you're gonna get something mediocre.
or
Like,
normal. Yeah,
yeah,
or
normal.
normal.
Like, you're
Yep.
not gonna get like acid.
All right, on the show today, we've got a new segment called "Waiting for Pairing." We're gonna take some different foods, pair them with coffee, and it's gonna be a great time.
Hmm.
We got question of the day: what did we learn? The whole caboodle. So we're gonna go research coffee, see what we can find, and we'll see you guys in a half hour.
That sounds good. Welcome back. That was a very interesting dive for me.
I'm glad it was. It wasn't like groundbreaking for me, but I know that there are going to be some things in here that are exciting and fun to talk about.
Do you want to start with some of the historical stuff or some of the specific coffee drinks?
Yeah, definitely historical stuff. I think
Okay.
so. There was this dude named Kaldi,
Kaldi.
Kaldi,
Okay.
Kaldi.
Hmm.
He was like a goat farmer.
Sounds like a villain from an Indiana Jones movie.
Yeah, okay. Back in the ninth century, he was goat farming, and his goats were eating these red berries,
Oh, I did see this.
and they were getting really energetic when they would eat these red berries. Like they would go nuts. They would just be super high strung and everything. And so he goes and investigates this random surge of energy, and he tries some himself, and he's like, "Wow,
Kaldi.
all day, gotta do." And so he's like, "This is great." So he gives them to his monk friend, who every goat farmer probably has a monk friend, I guess.
As you do.
He gives them to his monk friend, and as monks do, they brew. And so what his monk friend does is he brew.
Hold on. As monks do.
Dude, monks are very famous for brewing.
Are they?
Yes, you look up any set of monks, they've got a brewery in that monastery.
Huh.
So anyway, this monk dude, he he started brewing these coffee beans, and it probably wasn't great to begin with because I don't know if they roasted them or whatever. But he started brewing these things, and he would drink what was brewed so that he could stay awake during prayer, during long hours of prayer. And so it became very quickly like a religious thing to start drinking the coffee that was produced from
Hmm.
these red cherries. And so that's
Interesting.
kind of where it started, like all the way
Huh.
back in the ninth century with a goat farmer named Kaldi.
Interesting.
So if I were to ever to open up a coffee shop, I might call it Kaldi's Coffee.
Hmm.
Would you?
I think you could market that really well.
You could.
Kaldi's.
Yeah.
Back to the original dude.
Back to the original roots.
Yeah. I like that.
Goat
Kaldi's
roots.
coffee.
Yeah.
We are looking for investors.
So that's ninth century. And then it took a couple hundred years for it really to spread to Arabia, the rest of Arabia.
Mhm.
And like that's where it all started was in the Arabian Peninsula.
I was thinking that it was probably later than that, honestly. Like ninth
Nope.
century. That's interesting. Coffee was said to be a Muslim drink.
Right.
Okay, Ottoman Empire,
Yep.
big stuff. Many people in Catholic circles, Roman Empire circles, were highly against the drinking of coffee because it was actually called Satan's drink.
Yes, I saw this. Hold on. I just looked at my show doc. I made a mistake. Ethiopia is where the legend of Kaldi was from,
Oh.
not the Arabian Peninsula.
Okay, I'm
My
really
bad.
glad.
That's
I'm
on me.
really glad that you
Yeah,
you clarified that
for the
for
sake of
everybody.
not misinformation.
Yes, indeed. So anyway, coffee was Satan's drink, um, and
Why was it called Satan's drink?
because the Muslims drank it. That was the pure reason.
So I saw, to go off of that, I saw that it was Europeans that were suspicious of
Well,
coffee
yes.
because they called it a bitter invention of Satan.
I could see that debate happening today. You know? Like, I could see
No,
people being like, not of coffee specifically, but on something where it's
like
like,
alcohol,
yeah, well, yeah, I mean, it's a little different, but yeah. Or something of the like
Monster,
monster that, yes, something like that.
some energy
Some
drink.
energy drink where
Stop
you're
the
just like,
devil.
you can't do that. Um, but they were debating in the hierarchies, I guess, of the Catholic Church,
Hmm.
whether this was an appropriate thing for Christians to ingest.
Yes.
And Pope Clement VIII
Yep.
was brought a cup of coffee because he said, "I am not going to ban this unless I taste it myself first."
Seems like a
And
good thing to do.
yeah, and they brought it to him, and took a drink and said, "Quote: This Satan's drink is so delicious. It would be a pity to let the infidels have exclusive use of it."
Oh my word. I read that he said it should be baptized
Yeah, he said
into the
we
church.
should cheat the devil by baptizing.
It's such a strange view of
Yes.
baptism. It's like, oh wait, we can like make this thing ours by
Yes.
baptizing it. If you
Yes.
use that rationale,
You could do a lot.
you could do a lot
I
of
think
things.
they did.
Yeah,
I
I mean
mean,
with
we were,
indulgences and
yes.
penance and all
Yeah.
that kind of stuff, like it wasn't a super well thought out plan. But we're
No.
glad because we
We have
have
coffee.
coffee now.
And about 50 years later, the first coffee house opened in Rome. So it worked.
So I did find that coffee houses were a very, very popular thing back in the Middle East. Like
Mhm.
in the 1500s, in the 1400s, there were coffee houses. Like we think of the coffee shop as, potentially more of a modern thing.
Mhm.
But for some reason, culturally, they everybody's always kind of been like, "Oh yeah, coffee house." Like that's a place where we can get together, we can talk politics. It really was a social center.
Mhm.
And I love that.
Yeah.
It's like humans understood this is a drink worth talking over.
Yeah.
You know,
Hmm.
you don't have water houses.
No.
You have
Well,
you have
we have wells.
yeah, that's not a house.
It's
You
true.
have beer houses. You have coffee houses. You have like wine would
Cigar houses, but I mean, it's a different thing. But
hookah lounges.
yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of stuff that people like use as the basis of socializing.
Mm.
Coffee houses, out of all of those, are my favorites and the only ones I would go to. But
Correct.
that being
Yeah.
said,
Yes.
there's a lot of things that people use to socialize on the basis of.
Mhm. Now, did you know that coffee houses were banned in 1633 in the Ottoman Empire?
I heard that because the Ottoman Empire guy was like
Sultan Murad was his name.
Sultan Murad. He was like, boy, if they get together and start talking politics, this is not going to go well for me.
Yes.
Like, so he said, no more coffee houses.
Yes, I think that was a net negative for him.
Yeah,
from what I
probably.
read,
They're like,
because
you won't let us have coffee.
he was basically like, okay, no more coffee at all. They were like beheading people
Ah,
for drinking coffee,
that's absolutely
which is
wild.
what it is said. I don't know if this is confirmed. It said that he disguised himself and walked around the city and would just like on the spot behead people himself if he found them drinking coffee, which is wild.
It's a different world.
Yeah. But my favorite part of the human nature of everything that happened out of this is that we now started getting underground coffee houses and like a coffee resistance rose from the ashes of the grounds.
Incredible.
And we started having underground bunker coffee
Like all
places.
this is just a drink that gives you a little bit of energy and
Yeah,
tastes nice. Like,
right.
that's all it is.
We basically had coffee prohibition in the Ottoman Empire.
It's crazy.
And we went to that where people were like smuggling coffee around and
And it
and
wasn't
stuff like
because
that.
of the coffee. It was
No,
because of the social centers.
right. And it was a social center, and um, coffee itself was basically seen as a unifying thing by the
Hmm.
people. So it was a very big part of their culture.
Sure.
So
It's like taking away fishing.
yeah, that ban lasted about a year.
Yeah,
And
right.
he was like, "We're done. This ain't working."
Well, he couldn't have coffee himself, you know. He's
Yeah,
like, oh shoot.
maybe he didn't like it.
There was a dude named Sheikh Abd al Qadir
Mhm.
who was he lived in Arabia. He was a mystic, and they started calling him the Coffee Prophet because which is awesome.
That's
I
the
mean, what a
greatest name
nickname!
ever.
Because he had this mystical belief that coffee helped him to connect with whatever spirits or
Mhm.
you know deities he was talking to, and so he would drink. He would like put together all of these different types of like coffee elixirs and stuff,
Mhm.
and like that became his identity. So he was the Coffee Prophet.
That's
I
hilarious.
mean, how do you get a nick like that's incredible?
I
How do you
love that.
get a nickname like
Coffee
that?
Prophet just sounds good.
It's like a killer gamer tag.
Coffee Prophet.
Coffee Prophet.
I'm changing my tag. But,
Did you know that the espresso machine wasn't made until the 1900s
that makes sense.
in Italy? Which I don't know why that's amazing to me,
That
but I
doesn't
just
shock me, but I'm curious why it shocks you.
it's more the idea that it's a fact in front of me because I saw it. I was like, oh, that's something I've never ever thought about
Yeah,
before.
so like espresso is old, but the idea of having an actual like espresso
Like, how
machine.
old is espresso?
Yeah. Well, I would assume it's pretty old. I didn't. How?
When was the first espresso? 1884. Ooh, so
Oh,
old.
it was actually. Wow, I would have thought that they were. See, now I am surprised because I would have thought that espresso would have been like really concentrated coffee like that would have
Because
been
the
really
whole
old.
the whole thing of it is it's steam powered. And so
Yeah, that's true.
you've got the steam engine
Hmm.
and they're like, we've got a big train that runs off steam. Why can't we use the same thing for our coffee?
True.
And so they're like, let's try it.
Hmm.
And that's American ingenuity for you.
Well, Italian.
It's Italian ingenuity for you.
So the 1932 Olympics.
Okay.
What was going on in 1932 that wasn't great, Tyler?
The Great Depression.
The Great Depression. The games were held in Los Angeles in 1932,
Where the Dodgers are from.
where the Dodgers are from, as some of us learned last week.
They moved there in the 50s, actually.
They did move there
So
in the
they weren't
50s.
there at this point. They were still in Brooklyn.
No, they were still in Brooklyn
Yeah.
at this point. So things aren't going great for basically any of the world at this point for the Great Depression. It's not just the Great Depression in the United States.
Right.
The whole world is not doing well. Only 37 countries sent athletes to participate.
Out of how many?
I don't-
150 maybe?
Yeah, probably
Around
a
that
lot
time?
less than normal. And Brazil really, really wanted to go to the games, but they were broke, and they didn't know how to send anybody. So they came up with this ingenious idea, where
There were 77 widely recognized sovereign states in 1932.
so about half,
Okay.
about
Yeah,
half of the amount that should have come.
about half of them.
So they loaded up a boat with 50,000 bags of coffee and their athletes, and said,
He's
"Here's."
offering.
They said, "Here's what you got to do. You're not going to be. We cannot afford to send you. We want you to go, and everywhere you dock, we want you to sell coffee as a way to finance your trip."
That makes so much sense.
It did, in theory.
Oh.
The article I was reading said that if Brazil figured that if the athletes were good salespeople, it would finance the entire trip.
But they weren't. They were
They
athletes.
were not. So they got there. They docked in Los Angeles. The Port Authority at Los Angeles charged the team $1 per person to disembark, which is about $17.50 today for a dollar equation. They did not have the money to get off.
They couldn't get off the boat?
Oh, so only about half the team was able to afford getting off the boat at this point.
The rest of them, they just got to stay on the
So they
boat?
just had to stay on the boat. And they went, and I think they went to San Francisco to dock there.
Frisco, as some people call it.
Yes, and docked and tried to sell some coffee there. and they were able to get a few more athletes off the boat. By the end, 15 of their athletes had to stay on the boat for the entire
Which
Olympics.
events? What are the
Oh.
what are the most useless Olympic events that they would have kept on the boat?
I don't. Ooh.
Like
If I-
archery, you're staying. Breakdancing, you're
You're
staying.
staying. Depends on if Australia is competing. Um. So
Because if they are, then it's an easy gold.
yeah, exactly. And what they ended up doing was they sent about 67 athletes total.
Ping
15
pong, you're staying because
Yeah.
you are not beating
anyone.
anyone. They're not beating the Japanese or the Chinese or
Or-
anyone over there.
No, or even the Americans.
Nope.
No, no way.
They're gymnasts staying because there's Russians and Americans.
So they had 67 athletes who actually got off the boat, 15 who had to stay. And they participated in 6 different sports. They did not win a single medal.
Oh no! They left
They-
the wrong
they're-
athletes on the boat.
Yep. Their top finish was 4th place, showing in one of the rowing events, and their water polo team was disqualified for attacking the officials after their first match.
What? For attacking them?
So this whole escapade of go sell coffee.
They were by the
Live
time
your
they
dreams.
by the time they got to the Olympics,
They were so
they
done.
were done.
They were
It was a dumpster fire. The emotions on the team were a wreck. And they were like, I'm an Olympian, not a salesman. Why in the world would my country do this to me?
Yeah, I think the idea was everybody wants Brazilian coffee.
Mm-hmm.
Just say
Which is true.
just say we have Brazilian coffee, it'll sell.
And it didn't.
Didn't work.
Did you know that coffee is the second most traded commodity in the world?
No.
It is. Behind-
tea,
No?
gasoline,
No?
oil.
Yeah, crude
Oh, okay.
oil. Yeah. So oil is the number one, and then coffee is the second because everybody in the world drinks coffee essentially.
And everybody drinks oil.
Well, everybody uses oil. Over 2.25 billion cups of coffee are consumed daily
Daily.
worldwide. 2.25 billion,
How many people are in the world?
like 8 billion right now.
Yeah, that makes sense. That's about a right number.
Yep.
Makes sense.
So that's massive. That's a quarter of the world's population is drinking at least 1 cup of coffee per day, which is massive.
Martin Bacon, in 2011, guy in the UK,
Yeah.
made a coffee-powered truck.
What? What a genius.
There's a process called gasification. Now, gasification is not new. In World War II, there was some of this that happened, where basically you're using
Corn.
other substances to burn.
Like corn.
Maybe, I don't know.
We have a lot of corn.
We do have a lot of corn. And so Bacon created a all coffee powered truck. It has like a smokestack, so it's like
Did it
burn-
work?
It did work. He set a world record for gasificated vehicles that it went 66 miles an hour
That's pretty quick.
for a truck.
Yeah.
Like it was put on a Ford truck.
When was this?
2011.
Oh, wow. That's a lot newer than I thought.
Yeah.
When you said that somebody built a truck that runs on coffee, I was thinking 1952.
Yeah, I would have too. But he said it can go about 55 miles on 22 pounds of pellets,
55 miles on 22 pounds.
which costs about $2.50.
a pound.
I think total.
Oh.
I think the pellet. I think 'cause I'm not sure.
Is it like used coffee? Like those
I
little
think
bags
so.
you pick up from
I think
Starbucks?
it's basically like compost. Yeah, like where it's
Huh.
just
What a guy.
yeah. So
Is he still driving it or was it kind of gag?
he used it as like a fundraiser for
Oh.
some eco thing. Are you ready to get into specific coffee drinks?
I have 2 more things.
Okay, go ahead.
Number 1, the coffee nap I found is a real thing. You know where you drink coffee right before a nap? And they're like, but it's caffeine, so it's going to keep you up. Well, caffeine takes about 20 minutes on average to kick in. So the theory is that if you take a nap right after you drink a cup of coffee, and it's like a medium nap, like a 20, 30, 40-minute nap, a power nap, then when you wake up, you'll feel really energized. So that's like a thing.
Cool.
And then have you ever heard of Kopi Luwak, also known as Civet coffee?
I have heard of
Do you know what
this.
it is?
Yeah, but why don't you tell me?
So
You seem really
basically,
excited to tell me.
I hate this, but I'm excited about how much I hate it. Basically, they give these coffee beans, these special coffee beans to Civet cats, which is apparently a neat type of cat.
Mm.
Um, and the cats eat the beans and then excrete the beans. And to be clear, these beans are still in the pods, and so they are then shucked after
Mhm.
they are excreted. So technically it's clean. But apparently there is some kinds of juices that marinate the beans nicely and make it good tasting or something like that.
Well, I didn't see that one as much. I did see Black Ivory coffee, which is the same process but with elephants.
Whoa! That's probably more efficient too.
Yeah, probably. We're getting a lot more time. It's about $500 a pound.
Yeah, this
Um,
is a single cup of Kopi Luwak can cost upwards of $100.
Gracious. What it said was that the digestive process gives it a smoother taste.
Hmm.
I don't know how that works.
Which makes sense, like
Yeah,
in
I mean,
some ways, because
might take
it
some of the
breaks
edge off.
down different aspects of it. But it's that concept.
It's highly pretentious. Like if you have that in your house, you you're either doing well or you're not doing well. You know,
And who was the first person to figure it out?
I don't want to meet him.
Because here's the deal: were they desperate? Like the cat? Oh, the cat ate the coffee, but I really need a cup of coffee this morning. I can. I'll just. It's
It's
fine.
fine.
There's shells. I'll just shuck these and wash them off nice. And oh wow, that's the best cup of coffee I've ever had.
I can make a killing on this.
Let's continue to do that. I That person should be in jail.
Yes, they really should. And it's shocking to me. Well, where is this from?
I don't know.
Where does this originate?
I,
It's
does it matter?
well, I was gonna say health code
The
wise,
pits.
like
It
like
originated in the pits.
the pits of what?
The devil. The devil created this
Okay,
coffee.
that
This is the devil's drink.
this is Satan's drink.
This is
Leave it with the infidels.
yes.
Okay.
That's all I got.
Yeah, I have a couple of others that actually looked interesting. Like I would actually try them. Would you try that, Kopi Luwak?
Sure.
I probably would too. As terrible as it sounds, my curiosity would get the better of
I
me.
would try it. Yeah.
Kopi Jas is an Indonesian drink
Okay.
where they actually take a red hot piece of charcoal and drop it into your coffee. And it's supposed to neutralize the acidity in the coffee and give it a really, really smooth texture.
Oh, that's unique.
Yeah,
It makes perfect sense.
I couldn't find anywhere around here where we would be able to try it, but I would really love to try that sometime.
Go
'Cause that
start a
sounds
fire.
really great. And the other one was in Sweden and Finland. There's a coffee drink where it is standard to put lepajusto cheese in your coffee,
I
and
think I have seen that.
yeah, and it's called bread cheese,
Yep.
and so it's
So
like
it's not very buttery.
yeah, like
Yep.
soaks up all the coffee, and so that's a standard thing in Sweden.
That's really unique.
Yeah.
All right, we're moving on.
All right, it is time for.
Waiting for pairing.
Okay, so the way that this is going to work is we are going to be looking blind at some specific foods and trying to figure out what coffee drink would you have with that food.
Yep. We
Now-
don't know the foods. We're going into this blind. We had one of our close friends put together a list of random foods, and we've got to pair them with coffee.
Mhm.
So hopefully we agree on some of these things, but disagreement is okay.
Are you ready?
Yeah. First
First
one.
one. Monte Cristo sandwich.
Monte Cristo sandwich, which is
That is a fried ham sandwich.
okay. So it's like a panini in a way.
Yes. So it usually has, I think, ham and cheese, and then you fry it, and you usually put like powdered sugar on top of it and some jam. Is like the traditional way to eat it.
Which sounds really strange, but ham goes well with sweet.
Yes, I've had this multiple times. It's beautiful. So, if I were to do this, I think I would want something with whipped cream on top of it.
Okay.
You know, like a cold brew. Okay, or a
Because
cold
it's
foam.
already sweet.
It's already sweet, and you want something that it's almost like eating a very brunchy thing. It's not like you want like the hard hitting
Yeah.
coffee. You want something a little lighter.
I would go pretty simple with this one. I would do a classic iced coffee because I don't want it to be too sweet because it's already a sweet thing. So I want it to be relatively balancing. So I would go with an iced coffee with probably vanilla or caramel.
Yeah,
Keep it pretty
that's
simple.
a good call. That's a really good call. I wouldn't mind a little bit of sugar, but I wouldn't want it to be over sugared. Definitely.
Yeah.
Next, mushroom risotto.
What in the world is mushroom risotto?
I have no idea.
All right, we're skipping it.
Okay, no. Well, I kind of want to know.
Okay, fine.
I feel like I've probably had something. Oh, it's that stuff.
Which is
So it's like almost like it looks like a puree food, like a rice puree almost is what it looks like.
okay.
It'd be really, really savory.
Okay. So then, so you need something sweet for this one?
You need something sweet. I think I'm gonna go almost like a macchiato. I feel like would be really good for this. Like a caramel mock would be excellent for this style.
It's a tough one. It's a tough one for me. There is, you know what Vietnamese coffee is?
That's like super strong, right?
Yeah, it is very strong, but it has sweetened condensed milk in it.
Oh yeah,
And they
I've
serve
had
it
that.
iced.
Mhm.
That's where my gut would go, because the sweetened condensed milk gives it I don't know, a unique sweet flavor where it's not just like syrups. And I feel like with mushroom, you kind of need something that is poppy and zingy.
Yeah,
So I would go Vietnamese coffee,
it's a good call.
and you would go
Macchiato.
a macchiato.
All right, what's next?
Very cool. Latkes. Latkes are like little potato pancake bites.
Yes.
They're Jewish.
That one's a lot easier. I feel
Yeah.
like a latte you could go a lot of different directions and still have a good meal. I could go with a regular old coffee, like just
Yeah?
coffee and cream
Because
or latte.
it's kind of like a breakfasty
Yeah,
type thing. So you could do a black coffee or just however you like your normal drip coffee.
Mhm.
So I would say drip coffee.
yeah.
That's where I would go. Very breakfasty.
Thai curry with mango.
Interesting. So
That's
the
gonna be-
mango is helpful.
It is, but it also throws a wrench in there.
So you wouldn't just get another drink that has mango in it? Like, could you get a mango-ish coffee drink?
You could. I'm not sure if I'd want to. If I already have the mango on the plate, if I want to add more acidity.
So what if you did like something raspberry
Oh, nice. Like a raspberry latte, iced raspberry latte.
with white chocolate?
Yes. That's exactly the best option.
White chocolate, raspberry latte, iced or hot? With Thai curry, I'll go
Iced.
iced. Absolutely,
Absolutely
iced.
iced. Yeah, that's
All
a
right.
good call.
Red velvet pancakes. That's fun.
You could go a lot of ways.
That's a lot of fun. I would go hot.
I would definitely go hot. I think I'm probably going regular or straight espresso.
I'm going cappuccino.
Really?
Yeah, I would go cappuccino, and I think I would do. Yeah, I think I would do kind of a mocha type cappuccino thing.
I would want like an espresso or something where it's like
Where
it's
it
gonna
contrasts.
It really contrasts because like pancakes are so sweet and so heavy.
Yeah, but the thing is, here's the deal. Pancakes make me so tired.
They do.
And so I am going to take a nap as soon as I'm done eating these pancakes.
We're so old, dude.
No, listen. I will take a nap after this. And so if I'm already committing to eat red velvet pancakes, which is going to be a trip in and of itself,
That's true.
especially for you.
Yes.
He does not do well with red 40.
Red 40 and I do not get along well.
No. So this is going to be a trip for you anyway. For me, I'm already going to be taking a nap right after this, and so cappuccino, which is frothy and as close to hot chocolate as you can get, besides like a mocha, but I feel like it has more of a texture of a mocha, or I mean, more of a texture of hot chocolate. And
Yeah.
so you have that mixed with, oh, dude, I'm out. I'm
You're
absolutely out.
very out.
Yeah, and so I'm just leaning into that.
Okay, that's fair.
You would go with
I'd probably go with two shots of espresso
okay,
and cream.
shawarma.
Shawarma?
Shawarma. Why am I drinking coffee with shawarma?
All right, hold on. So
Shawarma, that's where they cut it off the spit, right?
yeah, it's almost like a gyro.
Yeah,
Gyro, however you want to
but like
pronounce it.
a gyro hero that's like the actual pita. That's the whole thing. That's like a sandwich. So gyro meat is not the same as shawarma, right?
Yeah, it's definitely. I think there's a slight variation. I'm not sure if it's hugely different, but there is something different.
So it appears that shawarma is the big cone that you
Yeah.
slice stuff off of.
Okay.
Vertical spit served with pita bread or rice.
In America, 98% of times where I would be eating shawarma would be midday.
Yep, absolutely. You're not eating it for supper
It's
or
a nice
breakfast.
day outside.
Yep.
I'm walking through town. I'm getting shawarma. I'm getting an iced coffee. It's going to be iced, whatever it is.
Would you go? So Irish coffee. You know how it like typically has whiskey in it,
Yeah,
but you could do like an Irish cream.
like peppermint. Yeah.
I don't think it's peppermint. I think it's
Isn't it
just called
peppermint?
Irish cream.
Oh, okay.
Um, but something with mint in it would be absolute. Like an iced coffee with mint
Yeah,
would be phenomenal.
that would be excellent. I would say
With
like
shawarma.
a cold brew even with like a peppermint cold foam.
Okay. Yes,
That'd be really nice.
I think so because beef and peppermint kind of go decently well
They
together.
do. They do.
All right, we got time for three more.
Okay. Flan.
Flan. That's it's a Mexican custardy dessert.
Mm.
So that to me, that already has kind of a caramely aspect to it.
Hmm.
Would that mean you wouldn't want to go with anything caramel? Because a caramel macchiato is my first thought.
I don't think I'd want.
You could go just an espresso.
It's going to be hot and it's going to be rich.
No,
Right?
flan is cold.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, I was thinking of creme brulee.
Yeah, it's like that, but the cold version.
Yeah. So you want to go?
I think I would go like a blank espresso.
Yeah, I think that's a good call.
Okay. Maybe with a little bit of foam if you want.
Chicken carbonara.
Chicken carbonara, I don't know. I don't know what it means. So let's
Chicken
see.
carbonara. I know what chicken carbonara is.
It uses eggs, parmesan, and pasta to create a dreamy, creamy sauce.
Yeah. It's like a thick,
Yep. It's like
Cream.
fettuccine
it's
with
a creamy dish.
yeah, fettuccine with creamy chicken sauce and cheese.
Yeah. I think on this one, I'm
I'm
going.
going something cold for sure.
I don't know.
I mean, you do what you want.
Okay, this is a dinner meal.
Hmm.
Okay, chicken carbonara is going to be dinner. I think I'm going like a cappuccino on this one. Like something a little bit more light or a little bit more sweet to come off of it.
I'm not a big hazelnut guy, but I think hazelnut, like a cold coffee with like an iced latte with hazelnut would fit well
I could see where you're coming
with a
from.
chicken
Yeah.
carbonara.
I see where you're going.
I think that's where I would go. Yeah, I think that's where I would go.
Time for one more?
Lobster roll.
Oh. Okay.
No,
I have a take on
there's
this.
no right answer for this.
I have a take.
You don't drink coffee with a lobster roll.
That is the right take. That is the right take. You do not drink coffee with this. You get a soda. You get water. You get whatever New Englanders drink. There is no
Moxie.
If you had to drink coffee with this, like you have to drink coffee, you want like an iced coffee and not any sweetness to it because you don't want anything that's going to cover your palate when you're going in for a lobster roll. And lobster rolls are cold.
Oh, you're saying because of the quality of the lobster. You're not saying because it's fishy, you don't want to pair it with coffee.
Lobster, if you're having a good lobster roll, it's not fishy.
Right. That is, I understand what you mean by that, but that's objectively false. It is seafood.
It doesn't, if you go and you get a lobster roll in New England, like right off the coast.
Yeah, it's still going to taste like lobster, which
Yeah, but it's not
lives
going to
in the
have
ocean.
it's not going to have that fishiness that you get if it's been frozen.
Well, sure, but regardless, it's a lobster roll, so it has inherently not a bad fishiness necessarily, even if it's fresh, but it has a fishiness to it that doesn't go with a lot of things.
Right. But it's going to have more of a lobster flavor than a fishy flavor. And the fishy flavor is what doesn't go with the coffee.
Right, you're not understanding what I'm saying though. It
Okay.
has a seafood flavor, which doesn't
Yeah.
go with coffee.
Okay. I somewhat agree.
It has a tangible element where it's like, this is not beef. It's not chicken. It's not pork.
If it's
It's like, wow, this
if it's
is
not
from the
beef,
ocean.
it must be from the
This
ocean.
is from the ocean. So that's what you have. Like, I mean, we have the same exact conversation. Like,
Yeah.
if we back up and it said crab, we're having the same exact conversation.
Yeah.
If it said shrimp, we're having the same exact conversation. The only thing that would be different, I think, in that category would be salmon. Because salmon could pair well with coffee.
I think I would put shrimp in a different category as well.
Okay.
But I see what you're saying with crab and lobster.
So anyway, back to the lobster.
If you had to do one, I'd do an straight iced coffee,
With
maybe cream.
With cream, but no. Yeah, I think you want to lean into the cream because cream does work well.
Yeah,
with
the cream.
lobster.
Yeah, I'll go because you're gonna butter your lobster roll, so that'll help pair with it.
So maybe, can you do an iced flat white, or is that only a hot drink?
I think you can do it iced.
Whatever the equivalent. Sorry, we might be idiots here. If you're a barista out there, just kind of overlook all this.
Or comment and tell us what we need to do.
Yeah, because a flat white is steamed milk, no foam, and espresso.
Yeah.
So by nature, it's exactly what we're talking about,
Yeah.
but it's typically served hot. So it probably could be iced. You would think.
I would think.
All right. Cool.
Question of the day.
All right, we're back for question of the day. Joel, I've got a question for you. You're creating a coffee drink for your enemy. He has to drink it every single day, and you get to put in the pairings. So he gets to choose if it's hot or iced, that sort of stuff. But he always has the same 2 flavor pairings in that drink. What flavor pairings are you putting in for your enemy?
Do they have to be normal flavors, like something you might find at a coffee house?
Yep.
So it's not like I can put in like wasabi.
Right. It's got to be normal, like Torani syrups.
Okay. I'm not gonna go crazy. I'm gonna do something like chocolate and rose. Okay? The reason being, those are 2 flavors that I like that do not go together. And they're so close to you like wanting it to be good. And it would be disappointing every single time.
So you would play the psychological game.
Yes.
That's so psychotic.
Like it's so close. Like, cause like
Joel, that's serial killer vibe.
you asked me about my enemy, dude. Like it's not like I can do it. It's not like I can put arsenic in it. Okay, like I'm just like,
You know what mine are?
what?
Ginger and bubblegum.
That's
Because it's awful.
so psychotic as well.
No, that's not as psychotic as giving them something that they almost like. Like it's
I feel like it'd be worse to be disappointed than to straight up to be bad.
see that's psycho. That's psycho.
Am I wrong?
No.
Would you
no.
rather get a drink where
You're
like,
totally
oh,
right. You're
or would
totally
you rather
right.
Get one like, oh, every day, just
You're
you know.
definitely well, it depends on if they're neurodivergent or not. Is your enemy does your enemy have ADHD?
If my enemy has ADHD, he'll learn to like the Rosen the Rosen chai.
He would not. He would not.
Every day he'd just be like,
You know, it has some nice flavor to it.
yeah. My question: You go to somebody's house.
Yep.
You have to make a good impression. They want to give you coffee. In fact, they ask, "Would you like some coffee?" And you say, "Yes." They say, "We can either give you Kopi Luwak
Yep. Cat dung.
or Black Ivory coffee."
Elephant dung.
Yeah, which one are you taking?
I'm going. This is pretty easy for me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going Black Ivory because I hate cats, and I don't want to accidentally like something
From a cat.
from a cat.
That's fair. I think I would also go elephant just because it's a better story. It's better to later be like, "Oh, I had elephant dung coffee than cat dung coffee." Like one of them sounds cool.
It's
one of
bigger
them
and better
sounds-
for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
Definitely bigger.
So,
Definitely bigger.
what we learned today. All right, what did we learn?
I learned that I can thank Kaldi and his goats for coffee today. I'm so thankful for goats. I think that they are great creatures. They're kind, they're fun, and they showed us the way to coffee.
I learned that if you have a drink or other food item that is entirely based around your culture and is super important, don't take it from your citizens. It will backfire.
That's very good. All right, we're wrapping up episode 5 of the Rapid Research Podcast. Join us next time as we look into the names and origins of colors. So orange, purple, red, blue, the likes. We'll see you guys next time, Rapid Research Podcast, for episode 6. Thanks for joining us.